Why are old movies in black and white? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever been watching a movie with your parents and you could tell it was an old movie because it was in black and white? Have you ever seen a black and white movie before? What did you think about it? They're a little different than movies today, aren't they? You know, some of my favorite movies are in black and white. I like a really old movie called Casablanca.
A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Oh, and TV shows used to be in black and white too. And one of my favorite shows ever was made in black and white. It's called The Twilight Zone. Have you ever heard of The Twilight Zone?
You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
They just don't make them like they used to. Have you ever wondered why they made movies and TV shows in black and white a long time ago? When did they start using color? And why? Well, let's figure it all out today. The reason that they used to make everything in black and white is very simple. Capturing light is easier than capturing color. A black and white camera only has one job. Figure out how bright or dark something is. White shirt? Light. Dark coat? Dark. Gray wall? Somewhere in between. That's it. And even that was a staggering technical achievement when you consider what film actually does. Remember, cameras have not existed for that long in human history. They're a new invention, all things considered. Actually, do you know what a film camera does? Like when you hold a picture camera in your hand, you snap a picture, it takes a picture. But did you know that movie cameras do the same thing? They're not really capturing motion necessarily. What they're doing is just capturing lots of pictures very quickly. A film camera will take thousands of individual pictures, but it's doing it fast enough that when your brain watches all those pictures back to back to back to back to back, it looks like motion. It tricks your brain. So back then, all black and white cameras had to do was to figure out how bright or dark the things were on each one of those frames. And it took 24 pictures every second to create the motion that you saw. But adding color to film meant solving an entirely different problem. The camera had to distinguish between wavelengths of light, and then record them separately, and then reproduce them accurately on the other end. And early filmmakers, they weren't ignoring color. They genuinely wanted their movies to have color. In fact, some films were colored by hand, frame by frame. Thousands of pictures by hand. But eventually, better systems emerged. Technicolor is probably the most famous one. Have you ever heard of a movie called The Wizard of Oz?
A place where there isn't any trouble. Do you suppose there is such a place, Toto? There must be. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
It was one of the most famous early color films, and it used Technicolor. Here's how Technicolor worked. Now, in a normal camera, the light hits the film strip, and that's the end of it. But in a Technicolor camera, the light actually hit 3 different film strips. It was split into 3 different paths using special mirrors and filters, and each path captured a different part of the light. One recorded the red light, one recorded the green light, and one recorded the blue light. So instead of one picture, the camera was really taking 3 pictures at the same time, and each one held part of the color information. After filming, those 3 images were used to create the color. Each one was turned into a colored dye and then carefully combined on a final strip of film. When projected, those layers lined up perfectly and your eyes blended them together into full color. Isn't that crazy? It worked really well, but it was really complicated. The cameras were huge and heavy because they had to hold all that extra film and equipment. They needed a lot of bright light to make this all work properly, which meant that movie sets got really, really hot. And the whole process cost more money and took more time than regular black and white film. So if you've ever watched the movie The Wizard of Oz and wondered why it just looks so different than other movies, that's why. It's very bright and colorful because they were learning a new complicated technology. But let me tell you, it looked amazing to audiences at the time. They had never seen anything like The Wizard of Oz before. Television followed almost the exact same storyline. There were color TVs that existed in the 1950s, but the sets were so expensive and most homes still just had black and white screens. So broadcasters had very little incentive to switch things over to color. But over time, the switch was made, gradually. That's why you might have noticed that some older shows have black and white episodes and color episodes. One of my favorite shows growing up was The Andy Griffith Show, and one of my main memories of that show is that there are episodes that are in black and white, and then there's a few seasons at the end that are in color. That's because that show was on TV right at that time when television was making the transition from black and white to color. Color cameras were just a completely different process than black and white, and they took time to get right. So when you're watching things that were made between the 1930s and the 1960s, that's why you might see color or you might see black and white. But I like black and white shows. I think the way that they had to be really clever with lighting is just really cool, because they had to work within some really interesting restraints. That's why old TV shows and movies kind of feel different too. Some of the best art to ever be made was created before color cameras were easily available. I bet if you ask your parents to show you a movie or TV show that was shot in black and white, they'll be able to tell you about one of their favorite shows growing up. See, my generation and your parents' generation, we may be the last ones that really remember old black and white TV shows and movies. They were pretty recent history when we were born. So we saw a lot of these old shows and movies on TV. And what's funny is that the old black and white stuff, it seemed really old to us at the time, but thinking back on it now, it really wasn't. When I was a kid, it was barely 20 years old. Color cameras are still a pretty recent invention. In the whole history of the world, being able to capture the past in color is a really new experience. When you really think about it, it's pretty amazing to live in the time that we live in right now. All right, let's have a quick quiz. Did early movie cameras record light and dark or lots of colors? They recorded light and dark. And what famous color film process helped make color movies more common? It's called Technicolor. why didn't every movie switch to color right away? Because color was way more expensive and way more complicated. True or false? Old movies were black and white because real life used to not have color. That is false. But I kind of remember thinking that when I was a little kid. I would see movies and pictures and TV shows in black and white, and I just thought, oh yeah, I guess that's just what life looked like back then. But now we're in color. Interesting. But no, that's not true at all. The world was just as colorful as it is today. True or false? Color TV became common immediately as soon as it was invented. Nope, that's false. It was very expensive, and so a lot of people just stuck to their black and white TVs, thank you. Would you rather make a movie in black and white or a movie in color? I would need to learn a lot more about proper lighting in order to make a movie in black and white. I know just enough to get by when it comes to film lighting, but I would need a crash course if I was going to make one in black and white. So I think for me, for right now, I would choose color, but I would love to learn more about making a movie in black and white. What about you? Okay, let's play a round of What Am I? What am I? I am what a camera records. You can see things because of me. And the moon reflects me. What am I? I am light. Well, now we know that old movies and TV shows were black and white because that's just how early cameras recorded things. Color was eventually possible, but it took time for the technology to become easier and cheaper. And even though color is everywhere now, I don't know, black and white just still has such a special look. Have you ever seen a black and white photo before? Doesn't it just have such a cool and unique feel to it? I like black and white photography, and I love black and white movies. Color is amazing, but there's just something so special about black and white. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I just love it. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out, so until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got some birthdays today. Today is Caius's birthday. Caius is from Oklahoma, and Caius is turning 7. Happy birthday, Caius. Jabari is from Lagos, Nigeria, and Jabari is turning 1. Happy birthday, Jabari. Sam is from Illinois, and Sam is turning 7. Happy birthday, Sam. Rooney is from California, and Rooney is turning 6. Happy birthday, Rooney. Sawyer is from Arizona, and Sawyer is turning 7. Happy birthday, Sawyer. Luca is from Massachusetts, and Luca is turning 4. Happy birthday, Luca. And Emma is from Singapore, and Emma is turning 7. Happy birthday, Emma. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kid wants their birthday mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow!